So I stayed at this little place last night. Single bed, 100 NPR. Quite warm, does the job. Now onwards towards Rara. But first, small little village located on the foothills of the mountains. Alright. So we have a little problem. I always face issues with this. So this had been welded on here before, and yesterday it sort of hit some rock, and right now it's completely off. So thankfully it came off in Nagma itself, and thankfully there was a welding workshop right here. So hopefully I can get that welded. Alright, so we've got that temporarily sorted out. Right now, the goal is to reach Rara with minimum damage to the motorcycle and myself. One would think that after having ridden for over 200 kilometers of broken roads, I would be confident enough to tackle the remaining 100 kilometers towards Rara. But one would think wrong. Every person that I had met on the road so far had shared with me their harrowing version of this final stretch of road, or its lack thereof, which, if I'm being honest, had left me terrified and intimidated. The previous day's ride had also taken a considerable toll on the body and motorcycle, with aching limbs and motorcycle parts simply falling off on several occasions. We got quite a slushy situation, avoiding that at all costs. Oh. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey. Hey. Come. Ah. Slush is the enemy. Speaking of bulky luggage, I've sort of cut down on the luggage that I was carrying yesterday. So I've sort of kept the saddlebags back at the homestay where I was staying, and I just have this one rucksack and a small aqua pack for the motorcycle spares and tools and stuff. So the bike already feels a lot more nimble, and hopefully it'll give me a better chance at tackling the road to Rara. I have this crazy helmet hair going on. Hello. Thoughts of how I would overcome a simple breakdown or a puncture, or even a minor accident by myself, constantly kept swirling on the back of my mind, with the next mechanic miles away and hospitals unheard of in this part of the world. Check out the landscape though. That is the road we just came from. It just goes twisting through the hills. We have a barren mountain on this side and a fully covered green mountain on that side. It's a bumpy ride. So the main difference between the route from Birendranagar to Nagma, which I took yesterday, is that it's a mix of, there are good roads and then there are bad patches in between. Whereas the road from Nagma to Rara, they haven't even seen a coat of tar ever. It's just all sand and rocks and slush all the way. So it doesn't quite give you a break. Both the motorcycle and me have taken quite a beating. I mean, a thorough beating. Man, crazy adventure this was. Check out the views. I had to make a conscious effort to subdue that subconscious voice inside my head that kept questioning the sanity of what I was about to undertake. And sometimes you just have to tell the negative committee inside your head to sit down and shut up. It was just me, my motorcycle, and the mountains. And sometimes that's all you will ever need. Take care. Thank you, sir. So there's a army checkpost where you need to fill your details, and there was a board that welcomed me to Rara National Park. So we are in the Mugu district of Nepal. So Rara Lake is still 2 hours away. So we've finally reached the deviation that leads to Rara. The straight road goes to airport, the Talcha airport, and the left deviation takes us to Rara. Hello. Hello. नहीं. ठीक है. बाय बाय. बाय बाय. बाय बाय. And the final stretch towards Rara, hopefully. With just a trail of rocks, slush, loose sand, and countless water crossings, this was clearly the most challenging part on the road to Rara. And with most villages limited to just a handful of people, and with just the occasional trucks or buses for company, it was also one of the remotest places in Nepal one could ride a motorcycle to. Okay. Thank you. I had to dig deep to find in me the willpower to keep going despite the odds. And that's the beauty of solo travel. It can either leave you insane or help you discover sides to you never knew existed. After almost 6+ hours of getting thrown around on the motorcycle, I was finally there. They say the road to heaven is narrow and winding, and how rightly so. We made it.
कहाँ से हैं भाई साहब? केरला से?
केरला. क्या हुआ?
निकले?
एक.
15 दिन पहले केरला से एक मेरा दोस्त आधे चला गया.
हाँ.
मनोज था क्या था?
So we finally made it to the Rara National Park. This trail is absolutely amazing. There's pine trees all around and it's really chilly. It's quite cold. Here, right now, I got all my camping gear and I'm walking. Oh my god. We're here. We're at Rara. Look how blue it is. And there are snow-capped peaks in the distance, majestic peaks. We finally made it. Oh god, finally. So since it's all marshy wetlands over here, I managed to get my shoes and socks wet again. So currently I'm just looking for a place to pitch a tent. So most of this place is like swampy because of the proximity to the lake. I asked with the national park officials and they said camping is fine, so I don't think there's anything illegal about it. I was told that camping on the property, there are a few hotels here, so camping on their property will cost me around 1,500 bucks, which I did not want to spend. So I'll just look for a good place somewhere over here and pitch it up. Alright, so let me introduce you to our billion-star accommodation for the night. We got a nice little wooden cabin with a tent for two. So the tent has been set up and the socks and the shoes are put out to dry. Well, you got a sunset happening over there, and check out the snow-capped peaks. I couldn't have asked for a better location. Trust me on that. Amazing. And I'm the only one around, at least for now. Marlin Lake water. Cooking stove, butane canister, we have our Maggie, and we have a pot of Rara Lake water. It's gonna be the moment of truth. Wait, I have to switch on the gas.